What's up, dude?
What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really know how you intro it.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's really even appropriate.
Yeah, it's tough, but we'll obviously get into it. Let's just get to it, guys. As always, remember we got the live chat rolling. You guys would like to be a part of that? Check the link in the description below. Today is September 11th when we're recording. Which is like, I mean, dude, listen, there's so much shit going on. I don't know how to look, how to process, how to feel. But as always, guys, our goal here is to just try to connect some dots and just be a voice of reason for everybody. That's what we're going to try to do. Pay the fee, as always. All that good stuff. Yeah. September 11th, 24 years. It's the 24th anniversary of 9/11. So that's going on today. That's kind of big thing. There's a big group of lawmakers that are heading up there. I think Trump made a visit to the Pentagon. But obviously that is being overshadowed, unfortunately, and kind of running congruent, I guess, if you will, with a situation that happened yesterday, which is also going to be our first headline. Charlie Kirk, man. Charlie Kirk assassination, person of interest, released. Gunman is still at large. This is from the FBI. And like I said, obviously we got a lot. We'll dive in on a bunch of this, things that we know, that are happening right now. But I guess I just want to say, like, it hurts, bro. And I didn't know Charlie personally or anything like that. I know he was married, 2 young kids. It's sick, man. It's sick. It's sick. And I think one thing too that also really bothered me about the situation, and I think maybe it's just the risk, or kind of like the trade-off I guess you get with the speed of the internet and communication, but it's like how quickly the videos just started going. And like there was no stopping it, and it was everywhere. And I just started feeling for his wife, man. Of just like I could not imagine that. Just what I'm saying, just out in the open, just constantly.
She was right there. So was his kids.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Dude, I don't wish. I mean, dude, it's tough, man. It's tough. So let's just go through what we know, what's publicly out there, and then obviously we're going to have a little talk about it. Charlie Kirk, he was assassinated yesterday at a college. This was his kickoff tour. He does these college campus tours, and he was assassinated yesterday. 23 minutes or so into that event. We've all seen the clips of how these events goes. It's kind of like an open mic. People come up there, change my mind. I think it's how he kind of got going to prove me wrong. Type of just open, free debates, I guess, if you will. And a lot of stuff has been coming out. A lot of things have been coming out about this. Obviously, there's a lot of speculation and things that are still going on. And in situations like this, that's what happens when, I would say transparency isn't going at the speed that, the public wants it. Obviously, dots and conclusions start to get drawn and come to. But what we do know is that there were, obviously multiple clips going around. Just be very clear, we're not playing the clip of that situation specifically. But there was other angles that started coming out. And one of the clips that came out, it possibly shows Charlie Kirk's assassin on a rooftop, moments before and after the fatal shooting at UVU. So this is one of those clips. Again, it's showing the crowd. It's going to zoom in to kind of like the rooftop, to where you can see a silhouette. And I got the still shots here in a second, but let's check this clip out. So right after the shots fired, and you kind of, it's a quick clip, but when you slow it down, you can kind of see that right there is a person about 200 yards out, on a rooftop. All right. Now, there was a lot of people at this event. Again, this was like the first kickoff of this specific tour at UVU. There was a lot of people in attendance, a lot of people. But this is about 200 yards away from where Charlie actually was. And in this shot, again, you can see kind of circling that there was a person, and you see him moving off and running shortly after the shot is fired. You know, and I remember watching this stuff as it was going on and kind of just monitoring the situation. I remember, and this went all over the internet, you know, they had somebody in custody, right? And there was these videos and pictures coming out of this old man, pants around his knees, in handcuffs, being literally carried out by law enforcement. For it then to come out that it wasn't him, that he was not the shooter, a simple person of interest, I guess, if you will. These are the images.
Allegedly, he told them he was the shooter.
He did. He did. And there's a video where he's on his knees, tell him, I know
I have
my
the right
rights.
to remain silent.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly. And so, you know, me looking at this, I'm like, well, that's odd. Who would do that? Why would somebody do that if it wasn't
to give
really
someone else time to get away?
It's extremely organized. Like, to me, that is a telltale sign of organization. There is a organized scheme there. Right?
Yeah.
To intentionally, you know, draw attention to yourself, to law enforcement, right? Tell them you did it. And so they put all of their resources, manpower, time, and attention on you. That gives all the time in the world for the actual person who did it to go away and to escape. Now, at the time of the recording, again, this person's still not in custody. The FBI did just release some still images of who they are saying is a person of interest tied to this, tied to Charlie Kirk's assassination. These are not great pictures. This is what the FBI released. And I imagine they have better images, but this is what they just publicly released to the public. Now, there was a lot of very weird things happening around this, right? And one of the first things I want to draw you guys to, if you guys have not seen this yet, is this video is literally seconds after the shooting, and it's from a POV inside the crowd, right in the front of the tent, and there is a man who starts celebrating. All right, let's check this clip out. So the audio, I'm taking it out. Charlie is already on the ground there, and this guy is literally celebrating. And not only is he celebrating, though, he's looking back to the position, to the point where the shot actually came from. Okay, smiling.
Well, not really. Okay, where he's standing, the sniper is to the right. So if you're looking at him, we're looking at from the left.
Mm-hmm.
That guy running around on the building was over that man's left shoulder, which would be we're looking at his right.
Okay.
His left shoulder. So I saw this theory, and I don't believe that he knew where it came from, but he is certainly celebrating the dude's death.
Yeah. Pretty instantaneously. Right?
Yeah.
And it's weird, but and I mean, here's the benefit of the internet is that, you know, people can typically find who you are pretty quick. So this came out. That guy's name is Matt Tabor, who has been identified as the man cheering. And I went to his Instagram page, and he only had a story up, 0 posts, and this was on his story. I'm deleting my post because I want to, not because of anyone's hate. Your negativity doesn't affect me.
Yeah, not yet.
Right now, again, I'm just, there's a lot going on here. Obviously, President Trump delivered an address from the Oval Office.
Yeah, it was weak as fuck.
I agree. He also ordered flags to be put at half staff.
Yeah, that's weak as fuck too.
He's posthumously giving the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Yeah, does that bring him back to life?
You know, now, and I'm sure everybody's seen it too. This is the other piece. Like, I mean, I'm talking about, literally infuriates me how fucking sick it is. But all of these people that are celebrating, making these ignorant comments, ignorant posts. I mean, like,
do you believe me now? Do you believe me now? After sitting here watching these people celebrate this man's death? Do you will finally believe me that these people will kill you if they get power again? Do you finally believe me that they want you dead? These are the disgusting, immoral, weak, cowardly, ineffective, soy milk pieces of shit that have no capacity for safety on themselves or taking care of themselves. They're not equipped for violence. And because we continue to tolerate behavior that is unacceptable to us as a society, this is what happens. All of the silence, all of the times that you've tolerated all of these things that you knew were wrong because you were convinced that tolerance is some sort of virtue. You were convinced that your own moral feelings of right and wrong were hate and bigotry. And even though you knew in your heart that all of this shit for the last decade was wrong, you kept your mouth shut to keep the peace. And there's been people out here telling you that it's important to speak up. It's important to stand up. It's important to use your voice. And because the majority of Americans who believed that this shit going on in the world for the last 10, 20 years was wrong and stayed silent about it, that is what caused this assassination. So let's be real. Okay? There's way more of us than there are of them. And we've been convinced to give them tolerance and give them space. But the reality is they have no intention of giving us any tolerance or space back. And when you give tolerance to the wrong people, it's not noble. It's suicide. Just because you wouldn't do bad things to people doesn't mean other people won't do bad things to you. And we've had it too good for too long in this country. That's the truth. All right? Civilizations don't crumble because of strong enemies. They crumble because of weak citizens. They crumble because people are afraid to speak the truth. They crumble because people assign tolerance where it doesn't belong to appear noble. When you know that something's wrong and you tolerate it anyway, that's not nobility, that's cowardice. And our collective cowardice as people who know right and wrong is what causes this shit. And if you don't think that this wasn't an attack on free speech, you're insane. They're trying to tell every single person that if you speak out, we'll kill you. Mm-hmm. Charlie Kirk wasn't the most aggressive person. He was actually the only person that was willing to have open dialogue with the other side, and they killed him for it. They're not going to like what comes next. Because I'm going to tell you, bro, I'm done. I'm done tolerating any of this crazy shit. I'm done tolerating making any excuses or having any kind of empathy for these crazy. This is good versus evil, and we've known it for a long time. Our leaders know it. You know it. We all know it. And we've all stayed silent, and we've all tried to be good people, and we've all let the psychological warfare convince us that, you know, a little bit, that maybe we could be a little more tolerant. But the problem is they're not tolerant of us. And if you're that naive and that stupid to continue to give out tolerance to people because you have been convinced to feel bad or feel guilty, those people will kill you. And you don't understand. I've been saying this for years. I've caught so much heat for saying this over and over and over again. Do you think that these people can be reasoned with now? When you see them laugh their asses off about a man, and by the way, Charlie Kirk is not my cup of tea, bro. He never has been. He's far less aggressive than what I thought needed to be done. Okay? In my opinion, he watered down the aggressiveness and the level of urgency that needed to happen. But I admire the way that he did it. He led with Jesus. He led with God. He did not apologize for that. He allowed people to have a say back, which is more than what I would allow.
Oh, for sure, bro.
So I have to commend and respect him for that.
Yeah.
Okay? But here's the thing. You guys that listen to this show and your friends and your family and everybody who's reasonable needs to stand the f*** up and get loud. Because your silence and you're saying, oh, well, I don't have a platform. Oh, I don't want to confront my crazy aunt who thinks this and this and this. That's the shit that allows this to happen. And now we're in a shitstorm because we have millions of people out here who believe that this was a great thing. And the reason they believe it was a great thing is because we've tolerated this insane shit for the last 10 years. This is not a few crazy people. This is a communist ideology that is repeating itself almost 80 years from the last time that it happened. And if you would have read the books that I've asked you to read, like The Fourth Turning or Rules for Radicals, you would be able to clearly see what was going on. But no, that's too much effort. No, it's too much effort to speak up and stand up. Man, I might get fired. Well, bro, you let them take control, they're going to put your family in a camp. They called the president candidate for the Democratic Party, stood in front of the country for a week before the election, calling everybody that wasn't going to vote for her a Nazi. We've had years and years and years of these Democrats calling for violence and celebrating violence and saying they're thinking about blowing up the White House and all this shit, bro. And what do? They blame it on the conservatives every time. There's not a single one of these instances that hasn't been perpetrated by one of these communist leftists. And we sit here and allow them to shame us into silence, allow them to pretend that they have the moral high ground over us, to tell us that we're wrong for pointing out the obvious. Things like a man is a man and a woman as a woman, and we shouldn't be teaching our kids how dicks are sucked when they're 2 and 3 years old, or allowing our kids to become opposite sex when they're 5, or letting teachers groom children. All of this shit contributes to this. And because people are too weak to stand up and say, no, this is what we get. And bro, I'm pissed off. Never, ever, ever should ever anyone tolerate this crazy shit in front of their face ever again. These weak little pussy who never got their ass beat and got told they were special, they think they are immune. And they think they have a right and a justified right to commit violence and disrupt society. They don't. And it happens because you allow it to happen. Now do you believe me? You think you can reason with these people? When they're celebrating a father's death, his brain's coming out the side of his neck? You think you can convince those people to be decent? If you do, you deserve what the you get. That's insane shit. That's like walking into a lion's cage with steaks stuck all over you and thinking it's a good idea.
She's going to give you a hug.
You're an idiot. Yeah. There are evil people out here in the world, and it's time that everybody that is of common sense unite together against it. We are being played against each other all day long. Black, white, gay, straight, left, right, this, that. This is us versus them, bro. And us is the common sense people in America who want to do good, be good, contribute, be cool, live their lives, make some money, and do the right thing. Raise a family, pay their taxes, do the shit. And all these crazy are on the other side. And by the way, so are the elite government. It is us versus them. And until all of us figure that the out, we're going to continue to lose. We're going to continue to get our asses beat. You're going to continue to see things like this happen over and over and over again. God, it pisses me off, dude.
It's like the like that MSNBC anchor, bro. Like the moment this shit happens, he's reporting, it was probably one of the supporters.
All of these people should be in jail.
Like what?
All of these people who the press, the people who the fucking what's that black lady's name from California? Maxine Waters.
Yeah.
All of these people who have been putting out all this violent rhetoric, Obama, all of them should be in fucking jail. All of them. And then they turn around and make these comments like, "Oh, we're so sad."
Yeah, I can't believe this happened to them.
That's called cover your ass because they understand what the they just created. When they say they don't want political violence, that's exactly what they want. Then you have people in Congress today legitimately saying, every single time this happens, it's right-wing violence. Where the is the right-wing violence? You don't even know right-wing violence, bro. It hasn't even started yet. A little fuck.
Dude. Yeah. Like I said, there's been so much that's been coming out about this. And like here's the side that I don't know, right? Like I don't know I don't know how deep this is, right? Could this have been a one-off person that is just triggered by the call to violence from the left that's been happening? Is this something that's more orchestrated? I don't know. There's a lot of weird shit happening.
It doesn't make a difference. The bottom line is they're all connected.
Yeah.
All of the people that could potentially be responsible for this are connected in the same ideology.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
You know, people are saying, "Oh, well, it was a professional shot." You don't know that.
No.
You don't know that. You don't know that that's the actual picture of the killer that they're giving us. We don't know shit because they don't allow us to know shit. We don't know anything. Oh, it's a professional shot. It's 200 yards away, mother. I can hit a 1-by-1 steel target with a pistol at 200 yards. Yeah, right. Holy shit, I shoot 3 times a year. Like the amount of ignorance to understanding what's going on. 200 yards with a rifle is literally like
you pick a nostril.
Idiot could do it.
Pick a nostril. That's where it goes.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be professional hit at that distance. Bro, I can shoot behind my back. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the out of here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's just
I'll let you finish the topic.
No,
but I'm going to tell you this, dude. Until we stop tolerating this shit, this crime, this fake racism.
The degeneracy, degeneracy.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to change. You're not virtuous by tolerating. You're cowardly. Let's get that straight. You are not virtuous by tolerating it because your aunt or your cousin or your somebody else shames you into it. That makes you a bitch, bro. And the problem that we have in this country is that we got a bunch of bitch-assness. You let these because you don't want to cause a scene. I understand that, bro. I want to live and let live too. But live and let live only works when both parties consent to it. When you live and let live and the other people don't want to let you live, you're a idiot. And that's what's been going on for 20 years in this country. So all you that are like, when it comes to my door, bro, you're the problem. All you got to do is use your voice. We'll drown these out. There's thousands to one of us to them. And people, we can't say this. They won't let us say that.
Yeah, it's weird because they can say whatever the
motherfucker, you can say whatever you want. You're being a bitch. I don't have a big platform. You don't need one. In fact, if you told the truth, you might have one. God. We allowed this to happen. And then you got this dude who's got 2 kids, a wife, who is by all means a great guy. Everybody that knows him says that. And he's gone. I hope this is I hope this is the turning point. I hope people wake up and realize that these people are not worthy of your tolerance. They are not worthy of your tolerance at all. At all. They will push you in front of a subway and then laugh and put it on TikTok
and celebrate it. I think that's the thing. Like, I've been battling this. Like, I've been talking to a few friends of mine that, people want to take the Christian high road, man.
That's what got us here.
And the problem that I have, I'm Christian, but the problem that I have with that, man, is like, no, at least, and I haven't found it, right? Like, I've read the Bible.
Sometimes fucking good men got to do bad things for the greater good.
I have not read.
It's
in the
biblical.
Bible.
It's in the Bible,
dude. I have not read anywhere in the Bible where it says that it is noble or okay to turn your back against evil like that.
It actually says that we're supposed to destroy evil.
And like,
people pick and choose what they want to say.
It's tough, man.
No, it's not tough. It's real simple. It's real simple. People who hurt other people deserve to die. It's real simple.
Yeah.
Your job as a Christian man is to stand the fuck up against evil.
Against evil.
Your job as even a man is to stand up against evil. Oh, I don't want Daniel Penny. Yeah, we all understand. But if we all did it, they wouldn't be able to single out one person. Well, dude, it's just cowardice shit, bro. I can't stand it. And then seeing that dude's fucking neck explode just set me over the edge, bro. I'm fucking done. I'm not tolerating this shit one bit. The good people of this country need to unite. The good people.
Yeah.
Black, white, gay, straight, left, right, whatever the you think you are. If you're a good person and you don't like the way this shit's happening, everybody needs to come together. And we need to hold them accountable that create this situation, which is these elite at the top of the food chain in this government. If Trump had any balls at all, he'd already have these on the front lawn in a wood chipper. You think they don't know who the did this already? These know everything. And here's what's going to happen, by the way, Trump. If you don't take care of these in a very obvious, violent way to make a statement, which, by the way, has been the way of mankind for million years or whatever, 12,000 years of recorded history. Yeah. If you don't make an example of bad people do not fear repercussions. And we are in a scenario now where the government, and that is Trump, that's Biden, that's all of them, have allowed crime to run rampant to the point where we are going to start seeing vigilante things happen. And when vigilante things start happening, society crumbles, and then we devolve into a third world country.
Wild, Wild West.
Okay, that's what is going to happen if Donald Trump and his friends don't handle this situation. That's the truth. So, and you guys could say, oh, well, he's doing this and this and this. He could have cleaned up the shit the first time he was here. I'm over this shit, bro. We don't deserve this. Those people doing these crimes, they don't do the things that we do. They don't work. They don't contribute. They don't pay tax. They sit around in their mom's basement wearing their mom's underwear, putting lipstick on, not knowing who the fuck they are because of the policies of these leftists that started 20 years ago. That's the point. The point was to create a generation of people like this who have no idea how to work, how to survive, how to operate in a real environment. I've been saying this for over a decade. When you give kids 18th place trophies, and you tell them they're special, and you tell them they're going to win no matter what, and you tell them that they could be anything they want. They could be a cat, and you tell them all this shit, and they get out in the real world, they're going to go crazy. And that's what we're seeing.
You know, the interesting thing on this too, bro, is like the amount of people that like, you know, has either said some crazy shit, you know, revolving the situation. In the moment that the heat gets on them, they're like, oh, no. That's not what we meant. That's not what, you know, not what was said. Like, dude, there was this website, Jezebel, go figure. But they put an article out. This was on September 8th, okay? 2 days before. They wrote this article. They put this article out saying, we paid some Etsy witches to curse Charlie Kirk. Okay? And they put this out, and then they completely backtracked once people caught wind of it, man. They completely tried to backtrack. Yeah, I mean, it's sick. Talking about Jezebel condemned the shooting of Charlie Kirk in the strongest possible terms. We do not endorse, encourage, or excuse political violence.
But we were right about it the day before.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
It's just like TMZ, bro. Did you see that shit that TMZ did?
Fuck TMZ.
Bro, TMZ is forced to apologize as staff filmed erupting in laughter as Charlie Kirk death announced during live stream. And then the excuse that they gave afterward. I don't know if you. I got the. Check this video out. Let's check this.
Janet, go.
You hear him in the background.
Go to have somebody look at the Fox.
Trump is supposed to.
And then they have the nerve to say that they were cheering about a high-speed chase happening in California. That's what they were cheering about.
Well, obviously they're lying.
It's sick, man.
And then people saying, oh, well, it must be this or that. You don't know, dude.
Yeah.
You don't know who it is. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who did it. It really doesn't, because it all spawns from the same ideology. It's all bad shit that we've tolerated and allowed to seep into our culture. Well, it was the trans guy. Okay, well, then we should have stood up against that 10 years ago when the shit started happening, when Target first came out and said, we're going to make transgender bathrooms. We shouldn't. Everybody was like, oh, well, you know.
They need to have a bathroom.
Yeah, I guess, you know, they could do, you know. And then it went to schools, and then it went to this, and then it went to that, and then and nobody said anything. Okay? Oh, well, it's got to be Netanyahu in Israel. Okay, well, if it is, those are the people responsible for the trans shit anyway. So it all comes from the same destabilization, chaos agenda, which is to divide. Okay, they're trying to create division between right and left. But at the end of the day, most of the left disagrees with this too. The only people cheering for this are these whack job nobodies on the far left who literally can think it's Halloween every day of their life. For real. Okay? And it is time to stop tolerating any of it. They do not tolerate reasonable humans. They do not tolerate people who have their own lives together. They do not deserve our tolerance or our allowing them to operate in our civil society. We are the majority. They are the minority. The tail has been wagging the dog, and it is time to stop. I'm done, dude. You guys act surprised this happened, but you didn't say shit for the last 15 years about what was going on. Where do you, what do you do, bro?
Where did you think this was going to go to?
Somebody douses your house in gasoline and walks 200 yards down the road with a trail of gasoline. And then they stand there with the match. And you're like, oh, well, I guess that's his right to do in America. He can do what he wants. He's not hurting anybody. So then he lights it and you look at it and you're like, well, he's still not hurting anybody. He's still not hurting anybody. And then the shit gets to your house and burns it down. You're like, holy shit. Man. Dude, whatever, man. You want to let this country crumble? You want to get put in isolation camps and genocided like has happened every single time the Bolsheviks and the communists have made their progress into power, which is what they're trying to do, then keep quiet. We'll see what happens. Dude, there's been a number of people trying to point this out for years, and people will not stand the up. I come on here every day. You come on here every day in front of millions of people and say this shit, and people won't say a goddamn thing to their neighbor. Can't stand it, dude. Dude shouldn't be dead. Anyway, what else?
Yeah. Dude,
people have to come together, bro.
Yeah.
Like good, reasonable people have to come together. It's the only solution. Every single thing that they do is designed to divide the population, bro. Along racial lines, along political lines, along socioeconomic lines, along sexual lines. Every line of contention or potential disagreement they use against us. Why do you think that is? Because the number one thing they are afraid of is us coming together. The second most thing they're afraid of is you using your voice. Oh, well, my voice doesn't matter. Yeah, who convinced you of that? And why do they spend trillions of dollars convincing you that you should be weak, fat, unintelligent, broke? They teach you that it's a moral high ground to lose in life. And you can't admit it. They are terrified of your voice. They are terrified of our unity. That should be enough indication for every single human to understand what needs to happen. And we have to put trivial differences aside for the greater good.
At least momentarily.
Okay? You may think this tax policy. I may think that. You may think this. I may think that. You may think this. I may think that. Do you think that kids should be reading about dick sucking in school? No, none of us do.
No.
Do you think millions of people should be allowed to come in our country and drain our resources? No, nobody does. Okay, so let's find the common ground that we can all agree on, which is this. We all want to be left the fuck alone from the government. We all want to make money. We all want to be free. We all want to have an opportunity. We all want to live in a safe society. And what we don't want to do is have a bunch of people who don't know if they're a boy or a girl or a bunch of criminals disrupting our lives. Period. That's it. So why don't we unite around that to fix our shit? I don't, dude. I'm not saying unite with the crazy people.
No, you can't.
You don't need them.
You can't unite.
You don't need them. You're never going to get them to like you. They're never going to approve of you. You're never going to reason with them. I saw a dude today who I've known for 20 years. He writes me a message and he's like, bro, you're right. You're right about all this. He's like, I can see it now after Charlie Kirk. I'm like, yeah, man. Like, why the fuck do you like?
That's what it took.
Yeah. You know, like you, and then I see on his story, it says, confront woke ideology with kindness. What the fuck are you talking about? That's what we've been trying to do. They don't want that. They don't want to unify with you. They hate you. Yeah. And if you can't see that on the internet right now, I don't know what to tell you.
That was apparent from Charlie's clips, bro. Like, he'd be in there and you have this, they, them come up and the crowd would start going and try like, no, we're not doing that. Be respectful.
I know.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it does not work because then that person would immediately go on to call him all the names you can possibly call. Like, it doesn't work, man. It doesn't work, man. Now, we've also heard on this topic that this was allegedly, according to some intel sources, this was like Charlie was like just the first, and that this is actually a line of like targeted attacks.
Yeah, there's supposed to be more.
Yeah, within the next like
week,
you know, and that's from some like person that would know, and I know Twitter's going crazy. I think Candace was like following the string because I saw this thread of like that apparently right after Charlie was assassinated, because UVU's like 5 minutes from this private airport. There was like this plane that
disappeared
off and then turned off its transponder.
Yeah,
and then like arrived in Provo like an hour later or something like that.
And then came right back.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, dude, there's listen, like we always say, guys, there's a lot of things happening here. One of the things I don't personally like to do, I don't think we do it on the show, but like jump to these wild conclusions. Like, it's what we know. And we can make some,
Here's a conclusion I'll jump to.
Yeah.
If they don't round up that black dude that slit that white girl's throat,
yeah,
and this, and I don't give a fuck if he's black or white,
no
whatever.
No.
If they don't take these and execute them to make a statement, we will devolve into complete third worldness eventually. That's the truth. And Donald Trump, but we're going to see what the fuck he's about, because I'm pretty sure that what he's going to do is he's going to say, like, if you listen to his speech last night, that extreme rhetoric is going to stop right now. And what I think they're going to do is a whole bunch of speech limiting laws and use Palantir just like they did with, just like they did with 9/11 and the Patriot Act. And I think that their answer to this shit, if it gets any more unrest, is going to be more control and more speech control and more tech entrapment. Instead of just taking the nasty that did this and pulling them apart on the White House lawn, like should happen. That would solve it in an hour. But he won't do it because, bro, this ain't about the safety of us. This isn't about what's good for us. This is about what's control for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro, that Palantir shit's. I started because I saw I was unaware like what all and how, like, dude, that shit's wild,
dude. Y'all better stand the fuck up, and you better get loud, and you better use your voice. If you don't use your voice, they're going to restrict your voice to the point where you can't say shit. You know, my buddy who messaged me today, you know what I wanted to tell him? The point of standing up was 5 years ago. Remember 5 years ago, everybody, when I was telling you all this shit, and y'all said, oh, where's your tinfoil hat? And then we played along with it, right? I've been telling you, I gave up the number one entrepreneurial podcast in the world. I could have made hundreds of millions of dollars between, that's what I gave up. I gave up hundreds of millions of dollars of profit into my own pocket to try and warn about this for the last 5 years. And everybody, bro, you need to calm down. You need to this and that. You don't know where this is going, dude. This is going towards total communist control. Nobody in the government can be trusted. Nobody. There's maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Guys.
What's the chat say?
Yeah, chat, what we got on this? I was about to say, let us know down in the comments what you guys think. Let's see what the chat's saying.
You guys should never allow any of these progressive people to with you ever. They're way too comfortable, dude. There's no repercussions. They've grown up in a time where they have not experienced violence. And I'm not saying violence is the answer right now, but I'm saying this. You better stop letting them walk all the fuck over you. You're going to be one receiving the violence.
Bro. And the point that I'll always come back to about all of this is like how they are using our money to do it.
No, Paul Corn is right. That is why we can't trust the government. We cannot trust the government. Because if they actually cared about us, this would already be solved.
To be handled.
It would have been solved years ago. They would have. Bro, listen, it's on our backs. If we don't stand the fuck up and unify as people, they're going to continue to press us into a terrible situation. We're going to turn into, we will eventually have a genocide in this country. That's what'll happen. And it ain't going to be them. It'll be us. Every genocide, every time in history that a weak population physically has taken control over a strong population and oppressed them is because the strong population was convinced that they were morally misaligned and guilted and shamed into accepting things inch by inch by inch by inch. That's what's happened here. None of you believe in any of this shit. You know, and dude, the people who advocate it don't even believe in it, bro. You know what they do? They advocate for, migrants deserve to be here. But the minute you say, okay, we'll host one. No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Everybody's a liar. Nobody's for this. There's 5 people in the world that are actually telling the truth about this. And we're one of them. These people are hypocrites, bro. The liberals don't even want it. They want it for us. They don't want it for them.
Yeah, right.
I shouldn't even say liberal. I should say leftist. The reasonable Democrats.
Communists. Useful idiots.
Bro, the Democrat Party needs to understand that you have been hijacked by communists who are going to use you and sacrifice you for their mission. You are the useful idiots that they write about in history. And if you don't want to be one, you need to figure it the fuck out. Do you really agree with all these people that are supposedly on your side cheering for a man's death? To get murdered in front of his wife and kids? Those are your people?
And then streamed all over the internet.
That's what you're about? You're about your party doing every single mass shooting in the last 5 years? Trump better stand the fuck up, bro. That address he gave last night, that was some bitch shit.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck if they do listen to the show. I care. You're a fucking leader, bro. You go in walking around acting
that
like...
doesn't make me feel safe.
No. You're walking around acting like you're the fucking man with a 10-foot dick like you have your whole life. And a lot of us voted for you and a lot of us said, hey, man, yeah, do it. Come in, clean it up. What have you done? You pander. You're still pandering to people that are never going to like you. You start playing along with their agenda. Bro, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, I didn't feel any like reassurance.
No.
From that.
Oh, good luck, guys.
Yeah, right.
Good luck.
Right.
Can't talk about these people who have said this rhetoric for a long time. They're the ones that are guilty. No shit.
Yeah. What do we do?
Really? You're the president, bro. You're supposed to be one of the smartest dudes out here. No shit. Bro, I'm pissed at Trump right now. I'll be real. Real talk. Do what you're supposed to do. Do what you're supposed to do. Protect the people. Protect the people.
A couple of people were saying that Trump's address last night was AI.
Whatever, dude. Everything's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
And everybody was telling me that there was dudes in my DMs telling me that Charlie Kirk's, that was a hologram.
Yeah, he wasn't I saw
and this was a this, and this was a that, and this was a that. Not everything's conspiracy, man. The dude got his neck blown out on real TV, dude. Like his security detail and all those people. Like, there's people that know those people.
Mm-hmm.
My people know those people. Trump.
Yeah, man.
Don't use this aggressive language. We're going to handle it. Put up or shut up, big guy. You walk around like you're the baddest on the planet, dude. And right now, you ain't living up to it. And that's what we voted for. We voted for you to handle shit, and you ain't handling it. Oh, the Constitution won't let us do that.
Yeah, man.
If it were me, I'd do it anyway. And then by the time they declared it unconstitutional, it'll already be over.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Police need to do their jobs. They need to be allowed to do their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This woke shit is over.
Yeah. Well, bro, even like the lady that was killed on the train, bro, the judge that released that dude wasn't even a fucking lawyer. Didn't even have a law degree. I saw that came out. Like, and apparently there's a couple of states that allow that, dude. I'm just like, wait, so the people that have to, either defend or prosecute these criminals, they have to go to law school, they have to study law, they have to practice it. But a judge that's weighing in on the matter didn't have to?
It's a magistrate judge. So
shouldn't be the case.
I wrote this last night and I was going to post it. And I think it's important for people to hear. And I'm going to read it instead of posting it. Because this is what has gotten us here. All right, I just want to be very clear. People say, how did we get here? We got here because of you. We got here because of your tolerance. We got here because we accepted things that we knew shouldn't have been accepted. Little by little by little by little. That's what we did. We did it. Us. We're the reason this is happening. It's been too good in this country for too long. And we have been shamed into believing that we are wrong because we don't tolerate people who literally want to kill us.
The intolerable.
Okay. So I'm going to read this. And yeah. Unfortunately, we live in a time where tolerance is being weaponized against us. Tolerance only works if all participants participate. If all participants respect the boundary, if all participants are willing to live and let live, but when one side plays by that rule, it's not tolerance anymore, it's surrender. It's dangerous and it's eventually deadly. And that's the danger most people are not understanding. Because being tolerant of someone who refuses to tolerate you doesn't make you virtuous. It makes you vulnerable. It hands them the leverage. It gives them the power over you while you feel morally superior for giving it away. That's not nobility. That's not fairness. That's not progress. And that's not courage. That's capitulation. It's danger and it's cowardice. And history shows us this clearly. The people willing to exploit tolerance always end up controlling the side naive enough and cowardly enough to keep offering it unconditionally. If you think you're safe because you're being kind or open-minded, understand this. You are not. Evil doesn't see your kindness as noble, it sees it as weakness. Evil doesn't see your openness as progress, it sees it as permission. Once you hand over that permission, it's almost impossible to get back. So the point isn't to abandon tolerance. The point is to apply it with clarity. Love, unite, work together. That's ultimately the only solution. We have to hold the people that break the law into account. Criminals, not black, not white, not gay, not straight, not Democrat, not Republican, criminals. This is good versus evil, and evil people will use your good heart and tolerance against you. They will convince you that you are the bad person if you don't allow them to impose their will on you. So understand clearly that tolerance only works when it's mutual, and that offering it to people who refuse to offer it back isn't a higher moral ground, it's a free pass to your own destruction. Tolerance with respect is strength. Tolerance with reciprocity is peace. Tolerance without either one of those is suicide. So stop pretending your endless tolerance makes you righteous or noble. It doesn't. It makes you a target. It makes you weak. It makes you coward. Furthermore, do you really want to live in a country where you'll get murdered for speaking your mind? Make no mistake. This was designed to silence you and make you afraid. It's a move of desperation. Just like throwing Daniel Penny in prison was to make people afraid of doing the right thing and standing up for the weaker people. Right now, you have an obligation as a citizen of the United States of America to protect free speech by exercising it. Sitting out is not an option. They will eventually come for you too. Speak louder than you ever have. Stand stronger than you ever have. Unite with each other of like mind, heart, and values, and help each other. Stand together as collective good versus collective evil. Give tolerance selectively and reserve it for people who give it back to you. Do the right thing. Do not let them intimidate you into silence. Now is the time to stand loud and firm. That is the bottom line. You are not some morally high-horsed individual by saying, oh, I'm so open-minded and tolerant. No, they will kill you for that. They hate you. They don't want you to accept them. They want you to open the door of opportunity to exploit it for their benefit. It's beyond my understanding how people can't understand this. There is good and there is evil. Evil is a real thing. Just because you wouldn't hurt people doesn't mean other people wouldn't hurt you. Anyway.
No, that's real, man.
Click back on the chat here. Okay, there's people in here saying, more security for Andy. Here's the thing, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm not afraid to die. You know why I'm not afraid to die? Because I have real faith. If you have real faith, you shouldn't fear dying. I'm not afraid. I don't care if they come for me. I never have. That's why I speak up. I don't care, bro. These, bro, I'll give everything I've never had to stop them. You people are surprised. It's like, oh, well, you know, dude, what do you think, bro? I got more to lose than anybody. Like, let's see some collective bravery. Let's see some collective courage. Let's see everybody stand the fuck up. And if they did, there would be no punishment for the people that stood up.
No.
Because they couldn't stop everybody.
I think that's my other issue, too. It's like, all right, Trump, so he doesn't do anything. Cool, right? There can't, when you start seeing the vigilante shit, there can't be anything done to those guys.
Huh?
Don't punish the vigilantes. That's the only way that, I mean, if he's not going to do anything, if our government's not going to do anything, and the people decide to, there can't be any punishment for them.
Listen, these people up there in Washington do not understand how we are living out here.
Yeah, no.
They don't understand that for the last 10 years, you've had to bow down to this woke shit that made no sense at all. It made no sense. And we were forced to do it. Otherwise, you lose your job, you lose your career, you lose your company. Now, because these people have lost the cultural momentum, they're freaking the out. And it's going to get more violent. So those of you out here that are like listening and you believe what I'm telling you, better prepare yourself, dude, and be ready at all times.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do when you're backed up against the wall, bro? That's what they do.
They are against the wall. And that's correct.
That's the
and
only
it's going to
thing
get worse unless our government and our president that we elected to protect the country starts doing his motherfucking job. Not fucking around with fucking Israel and all these donors and all this bullshit. I'm so sick of it, dude. Charlie Kirk's talking about Epstein 2 weeks ago for the first time, and you think he gets killed? Yeah, you think that's a coincidence? He was telling all his friends. He's like, man, he's like, he went on Megyn Kelly. Mm-hmm. I've been on Megyn Kelly.
Yeah.
They were talking about Israel.
He was just on with Ben Shapiro on like the 8th, I think.
He was talking about how he agreed that a lot of the shit they were doing, because, dude, the reason I don't vibe with Charlie Kirk is because he supports them unconditionally. And over the last 60 days, he has switched that view.
It started to change.
Okay? And then he tells his friends, well, I think they're going to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's dead.
And, dude, you know what else is so weird, man?
And I'm not saying that this isn't this, because to me, people are like, well, it's Israel, or it's this, or it's just some.
It's all the
same. Thing is, it doesn't matter because it's all the same ideology, bro. Mm-hmm. It comes from the same place.
Yep. I saw that, dude. And the weirdest part about it, man, and you guys can check this yourself if you go look on Twitter, Netanyahu's Twitter page, bro. He's been very oddly and weirdly invested in this situation, almost to the point it's what's that movie we cut all the time? There's no drugs in here. It's oh, we didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It was so suspect to me, man. It's so suspect. But to your point, man, it's all fruit from the same poisonous tree, bro. Like, it all comes from the same exact thing. It all comes from the same thing.
It's very simple. This could be handled very simple. Like, real talk. All you got to do, all you ever had to do, is what I've been telling you. All you ever had to do was look him in the eye and tell him to shut the up. That's all you ever had to do. That's all you ever had to do for the last 10 years. That's all you had to do. You couldn't do it. And now we're here. Once these people figure out that they're the minority, they will cower away like the little bitches that they are.
Mm-hmm.
And when people try to silence your voice and they try to scare you and intimidate you and make you be quiet, that is the signal to do the opposite. And if we don't all do the opposite, you will continue to see more and more political violence from that side. And I don't mean Democrat, I mean communist. If you are a reasonable Democrat and you are someone who is reasonable, you need to figure out that we are in a dangerous situation, dude, because I am telling you right now, there are people that are far more extreme in their ideology than I am, and these people are ready to go. And that is not what we want. That is not what we want in this country. You do not want that. It is very simple. There's very few of them. There's a whole lot of us. All we have to do is refuse to tolerate their shit. And it's over. Trump could fix the problem. I don't think he's gonna. I think he's gonna use it to control. They're gonna impose more speech and they're gonna impose more surveillance.
The Patriot Act 2.0.
Yep.
To protect the patriot.
Yep. Because if you really wanted to solve it, dude, if you really want, that's right. That's how it works.
Yeah.
They get the right all riled up.
Mm-hmm.
The patriots all riled up. The patriots accept it without understanding how it's going to be used.
Yep.
And then they lock us down.
Yep.
They couldn't do it the other way. The last 4 years, they couldn't do it. They tried to get people to, go along with the
social credit score.
Yeah, bro. And they couldn't do it. So now what are they going to do? They're going to create pain and then offer the solution. And the pain is going to be so strong that everybody wants to see the solution.
Yeah. We'll be able to stop this hateful rhetoric before they even type it.
Yeah, but what that means is that you can't even have a conversation without them watching it.
Right.
Which is they're already doing anyway.
Yep.
I mean, dude, what do you think, dude?
Yeah, but listen, am I
off base?
No. And I can't find the words, bro. I'll be honest, like, I really can't. I cannot find. I just keep looking at that picture with his wife and kids, man. And it's just like,
well, that's different for you because you got family like that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just still like that.
I look at it and I'm like, this guy's 31 years old.
31 years old.
He's been doing
17 is when he got started.
You know why they killed him, dude? They killed him because he's doing the same thing that JFK did. He's doing the same thing that Martin Luther King did. He's getting people to have conversations regarding understanding each other and unity.
Yeah.
And
uncomfortable truth.
Yes. And he did so with empathy and respect, which is more than I can say about almost everybody, including myself. That's the truth. I don't have tolerance for this shit. Okay? He represents the solution that they do not want, which is the unity amongst people.
And the dialogue. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
and that's why they killed him, dude. Whether it was a trans crazy person or whether it was an MK Ultra or whether it was a foreign agency or our own agency, they killed him because he's unifying people, dude. Or at least starting to sprout.
Yeah.
The seed of it.
And what was he doing in that, bro? He was doing it at college campuses, which if you've listened to any of our shows we've done with like Curtis Bowers, that's the home base.
Not only that, he influenced the younger generation. The reason that Gen Z and all these people are waking up, it has a lot to do with Charlie Kirk, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and they will say, well, we watched Nick Fuentes, but you didn't watch Nick Fuentes first.
Yeah, right. Charlie Kirk's been doing this shit for literally 10 years.
Yeah. I'm over it. And I think we all need to be over it. And that doesn't mean run out in the street and do some violence and all this shit. That's not what the fuck it means. It means use your voice. It means become the opposite of what they want you to be. They want you to hate, you need to unify and love. They want you to be fat, you need to be fit. They want you to be poor, you need to be wealthy. They want you to waste your life away as an ultra mega consumer on your couch, eating all their addictive food, taking all their medicine to cure the effects of this addicted food, watching their streaming, using their social networks. They want to own your life. And you need to figure out how to not do it. You need to be the opposite of them. This is why I've been talking about personal excellence for so long. They cannot control someone who is sovereign. They cannot control someone who is fit, healthy, who takes care of people, who's kind to people, who's wealthy, who is in control of their controllables. They cannot control that person. That is why they spend $1 trillion trying to make you a fat slob on the couch that just consumes their bullshit propaganda. Okay? So if you really want to win, stop tolerating shit that you know is wrong. Have a backbone and start becoming the version that represents American excellence. If you do that, we'll win. If we don't do that, we'll eventually all get killed. And that's the bottom line to all of this. That is the bottom line. That's really all I got to say.
I think that's it, man.
How should we stand up? You stand up on an individual level. You don't allow people to encroach on your shit. You don't allow people to tell you that you're a bigot for thinking very common sense things. You don't allow people to cause scenes and throw tantrums and act like an asshole in public. Okay? You don't allow this shit. You use your voice, you speak up, you stand up, you work together. If you see someone doing some up shit in real life, you look at the dude over here and the dude over here and you say, all right, we got to handle it.
Mm-hmm. And fucking handle it.
Yes. The man. Yeah, don't be the man on the bus. Hey, look, dude, I'm so pissed off right now. I don't think I can continue to do this.
Yeah.
I think we just need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, we'll be back on Monday for Q&AF as normal. Sorry for the plethora of profanity today. I'm probably sure we hit a record. But I'm angry. And I need you guys to set the standard, bro. In the comment sections, in the world, everywhere. We have to hold the motherfucking line. That's the truth. So we do what I just said, we'll win.
We'll be all right.
Country will be better than it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that, there will be a genocide in this country that will come within the next 10 years. And it's very likely that the people who are the quietest are the ones that are going to get it first. So it's now or never. And I would stand the up. I'm not calling for violence because they're going to try to twist this. Say I'm calling it for violence. I'm not calling for violence. I'm calling for the stop of tolerating of people who have never experienced violence coming to you and stepping on your motherfucking toes. Don't let them. Yeah. If they step on your toes, you stomp on their throat. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Figuratively.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you do want to call for violence, just register as a Democrat. You'll be fine. Yeah, man. Guys, Andy, that's all I got, man. That's all I got.
Yeah, me too. All right, guys. Listen, have a good weekend. Be safe. Be aware.
Be smart.
Don't tolerate any shit. Use your voice now. Your voice needs to be used today. And from here on out, loud as fuck. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.